Why in the world would someone go from being an entrepreneur to being an intrapreneur again? Or do both? Well, entrepreneurship is very interesting. Sometimes if you don't work, you don't eat. Or sometimes things take a lot of time. For example, you can have the perfect structure. You can take all of those workshops and participate in all of those fellowships and all those grant programs, whatever you want to call them. You can get all the funding, but you still need time to create things for your company. You still need time to go out there and find the people who are going to be on your team. When you work for an employer, the team is there on someone else's dime. Literally, your employer is paying you for your time and the value you bring to the table, but does not expect you to run the whole company by yourself. As an entrepreneur, you do have to run the company by yourself. Even if you outsource everything, you have to go out there and do a lot of due diligence, a lot of research, a lot of trial and error, and it's on your dime, even if you get funding. Funding is abundant, but not easily accessible. And there is a thing of your quality of life. As an entrepreneur, if you don't set up your business in a way where a lot of it is automated, or you can make money without being present, then you're stuck working all of those hours by yourself or with others to produce, to get that money, to get that bag. When you work for someone else, they have other people on board who do other functions that make your job easier. So sure, it would be great to fund 7 businesses that bring $1 billion each. But let's not forget about the bottom line. The profit that you bring, the net income that you bring, the freedom of your time. If you create a business and you don't succeed and you go back to the drawing board and you don't succeed and you just keep spending time on it and you don't step back to evaluate what it is that you are doing right, what your strengths are, what you'd want to do with a team and what you want to do by yourself, then you're doing a service to yourself. There are times that people can do the job that they want to do, make the impact they want to make on someone else's dime, and then use their own time to do other things that they can do by themselves. And that can be lucrative. You really have to understand what you envision through entrepreneurship, how you're managing your money, how you manage your time, how you're managing your energy. If you're doing things the right way, if you're functioning in a vacuum and not getting help, or you are living under your means and your company is really too strapped for cash and you don't have the support you need, don't let your excellence be wasted because you are afraid to go back to work for someone else if your business is failing. Or if you decide that you don't want to have all of that pressure of having to be in charge of everything, of having to figure out what the next payroll is coming out of, how you're going to cover your overhead. If you want to be able to go on vacation without working, well, I don't know about some of these jobs, do not allow you to do that, but we'll talk about boundaries another time. Some people have more freedom and are able to create the lifestyle they want by being an employee, being an entrepreneur, and investing their money and their time in things that they value that can buy them back their time than they would as an entrepreneur just trying to do everything on their own and spinning their wheels. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone, and it's not something that you should take lightly. You see all these people posting things online, talking about all these things, how great it is that they are in charge of their own schedule, but they're not telling you they're working 15 hours a day, or that they are eating tuna fish with crackers because they cannot afford to buy salmon, or that their clients are crap and they're really trying to go out there and meet new people so they can get better referrals, or that they are stressed out about having to manage the social media on their own because they know they could do a better job, but they don't have the funds for it. People don't tell you about the sleepless nights, the nervous breakdowns, the utility shutdowns, the eviction notices, getting sick for no reason when they're fine because they have so much stress and pressure on themselves. If you do want to be an entrepreneur and do everything on your own, you still need to go out there and find a team and find the support you need and do things with other people's money in a way that's not going to set you into debt, into bankruptcy, etc. If you really don't care who gets the credit and you want to have certain freedom with your time, you can also consider being an intrapreneur, and because you can just work for someone else and use your money that you're getting from a salary to do things that bring you other streams of income. Obviously, you have to check your policies for your company and all, but you can't think that working 20 hours for yourself to bring in 7 figures is always better than working 12 hours for someone else for 6 figures. What is your bottom line? Do you understand the cost of running your business? Do you understand the cost of sitting all day? Do you understand the cost of not having people to engage with? Your financial health, your mental health, your physical health are all important. Understand what works for you. If there are things that you need to go back to doing with other people and taking off some responsibility from your plate, go ahead and do that. If there are things you really want to do for yourself, go ahead and do that. This is your life. Curate your best life. Live on your own terms. Don't feel that there's only one way to do things. We live in a time where there's so much that you can do. There's so much opportunity. There's so many tools. Pick 2 to 5 things you really want to do. Set some SMART goals around them. Talk to some people who have achieved them, who are at a higher level than you'd ever be in 2 years, per se, right? And plan for your success. And then get to work however you see fit and take the steps to build your best life. Curate your best life on your terms.